No matter where you came from, no matter what you've done, you can change that day. The beauty about being a human is if you wanted to, some people call that psycho, but you can't. You can be a different person every day if you want it. So pick the person you want to be. And I don't care if they say you're fake or you change. Of course, I don't want to be that person. You want to. And you stick with it. And don't let anyone tell you no.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to my show. My name is Tiffany Alexander, and this is Unveiling Journeys. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. I have an amazing guest for you. And let me just tell you a brief second about myself. I love meeting people. I love being introduced to a bunch of fantastic people. And I want to tell you how it works. A lot of times I hang out with amazing people and I say, you're so cool. How do I meet more people just like you? And that's usually their peers, right? They're like, oh, I have a friend if you need to know someone. And or I say, wow, this has been so fun. Who do you know that I need to know? And it gets them to think of like, I just heard your story. Here's somebody that you need to know. And a lot of times I find myself saying, I need to introduce you to people that I know. Please let me share them with you. And there's multiple different ways that I have tools that I have access to, or you can use their free and paid to be able to find people that I know and that I like hanging out with. And by all means, I also get introduced to a bunch of like fantastic, amazing people. And then I say, "Can I tell the world about you? Would you like to come on my show?" And that's what the show is about, is just to share people's stories, unveil their journey, and be able to tell you kind of where they're at right now, what they're up to. And I have an amazing guest for you today. So, Anthony and I, we finally got all of our tech working right. And he is coming to you live from a conference that he's at. And I'm excited to have him as a guest. He gets to unveil his journey today. So, do me a favor, welcome Anthony. Tell everybody a little bit, just a smidge about what you're doing in life right now.
Thank you, Tiffany. Right now, I'm sitting in the middle at the Fountain Blue Hotel in Miami at the 10X conference, supporting Grant Cardone and his team. Went through their training and some of their uh, classes, getting education. I always like to learn. Uh, on my spare time, this is what I do: learn how and where and what to put my money.
I love that.
So,
Now, what are you
yeah.
doing in your business right now too?
Woo, we have just expanded. I am a interior division. We're and the interior division manufacturer. So basically, we have a team of interior designers and products and systems and teams, and we get the job done. We specialize in high-end residential and commercial. We just signed on, happy to say, a wine cellar and sauna manufacturer that we partner with, which is Vintage Cellars. And I texted him and asked him, told him I was going to be shouting them out, based in San Diego. And we'll be branching out and getting them spread out, as well as Southern Oak Millworks in the Southeast, particularly in the Atlanta area, as well as the Tampa area. But on top of that, we do just partner with a paneling company as well. And we have some of our furniture in their showroom, and the clients are loving it. So now we're getting calls on collaborating with, some pretty big projects, some pretty big hotels. So that's what's going on here actually today. Uh, but what about you? How are you doing?
You're so funny. This isn't the Tiffany show. This is
Yeah.
the Anthony show today.
I thought
Let's
I was
do
going to
this.
get a bunch of questions.
You are. I'm going to ask you a bunch more. This is where we get to the fun part because we've had a really good chat previously to hear how you got here. And this is what a part of the show is to unveil, is to tell people your story and your journey to where it is that you got right now. So here's what I want to ask. Where where are you from? Where did this all start? And then what what'd you start getting into when you were younger that then will lead more into the story of where you are?
Okay. I was born in Monroe, New York, about an hour and a half north of New York City, Manhattan. And then my grandfather worked for AIG, and my mother was really young when she had me. So he moved us to Atlanta, where I moved when I was 2 years old, to Alpharetta, Georgia. And I've always been this energetic, ready to go. Let's get the job done. Let's learn. I love building things. So from a young age, I kind of, I was a wild kid in school, from elementary all the way, to middle school. And then middle school, I was hanging around the wrong crowds. And I know it sounds crazy, middle school, but in the city, you can ask other children, like, you're an adult. Like, when you graduate fifth grade, you're on the streets, you're walking everywhere, you're an adult kind of. And my mom was getting scared for that. So she moved us to, we moved to Hiawassee, Georgia, where I went to Towns County High School, where I did pretty well. I had a normal high school, uh, high school sweetheart, played tennis, did wrestling. Uh, then towards the end of my high school career, I always needed an outlet. And I was that guy that hung out with all the crowds. I hung out with the hippie crowd, the jock crowd, the gothic crowd. Back in my days, there was a gothic crowd.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
I'd go to every crowd and I was friends with everyone. So I obviously one of those crowds didn't do too well in the what they partook in after school activities. And I got wrapped up in the drinking and the pot smoking and, a couple, pills here and there, I guess, at a party when I was, 18. And then it just kind of, through college, I went to Young Harris College and, struggles went there. I don't want to get too in depth with it, but just the normal suburban kind of kid falling into the trap, and the parents kind of don't know what to do. We were low middle class. I did grow up in a double wide trailer and very humbling, and where we turned it into our own home. And, uh, just the people I was around just weren't the best people. They're great people, like great human beings, great souls, but just the way we were raised and the people we were around, it was just second nature to kind of, you know, do those kind of things. Like the parents were smoking weed with the kids, the kids with the parents, and it was just normalcy. And then obviously when I moved out and went to college, and then even after I moved, because I went to college in the same town, and that was a big mistake too. So not until, yeah, same people,
yeah,
everyone like, and I was in, kind of my crowd really didn't go to colleges that much. So I always bring my friends over. Hey man, come and hang out in my dorm room. It was a mess. So when I got to Atlanta, I finally hit rock bottom. That time I thought I was rock bottom. And so my decision was, I got to go to Atlanta. We got to get out of here. I'm going to culinary school. My family owns restaurants. So I was like, I'm going to do it. And then that is where I met the devil. And the devil, you know, I got injured and I was prescribed pharmaceuticals. And at 21 years old, you can ask the mother of my child, like the doctor handed me Oxycontins and said I had to go to pain management, and they were doing stretches 3 times a week on me. And, because I said I didn't want surgery. I don't want no surgery. Oh, well, that was normal. Well, you got to take these oxys, these 30, and then you got to go to, I was going to resurgence 3 times a week. And then the pills got crazy and got like every other suburban kid, probably in 2011, working at a restaurant, going to culinary school. It ate me alive. Fast forward to 27, we hit, actually 25. I went to a state program called RSAP where it was like a drug rehab program, but it was a work program. And it was like you had to recite like the code. It was really good. Like, I didn't wanna go there at the beginning, and it was 18 months. The whole shebang was 18 months, and, definitely retrained the way I thought, and, haven't been back, so it did something, right? And, since then, when I got out, I was doing well, went to work for a family, and, God, I started learning the finished carpentry trade, and You know, I did that for years, and obviously, no one's perfect. So the alcohol still played a little bit, hiccups here and there. And that's not an important story, but it does have something to do with today. And basically, this is what I want to say is none of that matters. I don't care about all that. It doesn't matter. Everyone has their stories. I know some billionaires that have their stories sitting in Grant's show, it's one of the side rooms right now. And, I just left the conference, waved at him, said, sorry, man, I'm leaving early. Got to do this. This is what it's about. I think I was supposed to go through all that. I think I was supposed, everything happens for a reason. So it's like, you can dwell on it, but how can we, well, why did I go through that? So I went through, my interpretation of it is I went through that to help other people. So now everyone else can kind of, and I left everything on Facebook, like my whole past, everything. So you can actually see the transformation. And about, and even after I was 20, I'm 37 now, it's 10 years ago or 12 years ago, at 25, I decided to change. And it was still a battle. I had corporate jobs, drank at corporate jobs, and took the drinking too far. Going on, we hit September soon, or not September, sorry. We hit the spring soon. It'll be going on a year and a half, no drinking. Oh, oh yeah. And it wasn't to the extreme. I had a corporate job, so I would be celebrating, but then that celebration started dragging on in the weekends. And I decided it was just time. And I had a little hiccup and I decided to stop. And I wrote a book. And that's what kind of brought us together. The book, someone found out about it. It's in 7 churches. It's in, oh, maybe it's 8 police departments and municipalities now. Because I've been personally handing them out to the judges and the sheriffs,
Yeah.
saying and offering to speak at the facilities, just, to let everyone know that, hey,
Tell us about the
it's
book.
it's called addiction, the disease of choice. It's in multiple countries. I can't give you the exact count, but I wrote a quote in this program at RSAP. I wrote this quote. I went through all my notebook, and you know how you have the cardboard on the back of a yellow pad? I didn't have nowhere else to write, so I write music sometimes. So, and I have a couple songs, but so I was writing lyrics and poems, and I wrote this quote. And it's basically the disease of choice. And what I did was, it's a paragraph. It's not a quote, by the way. It's the choices you make in life do not determine who you are as a human being, but it does determine what paths you take. So you got to be careful, be good, make the right choice, even if it's the one we don't want, and keep moving forward, you know? Uh, so out of that quote, I typed in the chat GTP, help me write a book and help me share it with the world to help them. And I wrote the paragraphs, and there's just a couple sentences on each page. I don't have patience. And I think I wrote this short book because the kids are reading it and the churches want it because the kids don't have patience. So now I have two, and I purposely put 2 sentences on each page. They're centered on each page. I think Amazon purposely did that, to be honest with you. But I only did 2 sentences, 3 sentences per page. And there's all this space around there so they can doodle. Let them doodle. And it's only 19 pages long. An adult could read it, in 15 minutes. It's an easy read. Um, so that's kind of what happened. And then obviously I wanted that to be a business. So I'm like, I published it on Amazon. I get after tags, probably 50 cents for each copy sold. But I don't even think I get that. But so I'm like, all right, can't go back to the corporate world. I don't want to go back through that rabbit hole. So what I did was I also typed in Chat GTP, and this is before I had Grok, but so go Grok. But I typed in Chat GTP, hey, can you help me start a brand new company? Because I've had a couple handyman businesses and teach me how to do it the right way. And please send me to, show me the education I would need, basically, in the gist. And it spit it out. So before yeah, and I've been following Grant Cardone and Nate Barger. I've been following Grant the longest, and Joe Rogan, and through depression, through happiness, through whatever. So that's kind of where my Facebook threads were. I don't really try to do too much TikTok. So I was really always educating myself on Facebook. Thank God. Uh, from there, I went to Berkshire Hathaway's real estate training, finished that. Then went to Nate Barger's training, finished that. As I was starting his training, I started the LLCs, uh, which is now a corporation, Southern Oak Millworks. And then after I finished Nate Barger's, I joined Grant's because Grant just was, it's a lot of info. It's high quality information, a lot of language I didn't know, understand. You kind of, he doesn't have time to teach you the stuff kind of like the smaller niche, places have. So I went to go learn what I could everywhere else. And this is where I'm at. I'm in the Fountain Blue Hotel. Business has been open 7 months. This is new. This is new. This is all fresh. I've been doing 5 figures a month since month one, but month five, six, and seven, we stopped income. I took all of it, sold my boat, built this website, started networking, joined like a RGA business network, joined Alignable, got all my systems in place, my CRM, my quoting softwares, vendors. I had to go around and part all these vendors I told you about. I had to go around and find them, tell them my story, tell them I'm here to help them. And, 7 months later, we're here and we got projects coming up. Very excited for it because I'm at negative. You know, uh, I was looking for a capital investor, or actually, they were looking for me, and I kind of denied it because it was a little wishy washy. I think I told you about that. I don't want to get too much into that, but definitely, we're in expansion mode. I am just me. I'm doing this all on my own with my vendors. Obviously, my vendors are huge help. We love them. They're the best. Shout out to Click Studios, Panel Decor, Bob's Flooring, and Vintage Seller now. I did my core five. My old corporation said, build your core five, build your systems, pull from that, make sure the project gets done. Uh, let's do it. I'm
Nice.
doing it. And also partner with Cloud9 Feng Shui, top designer in Tampa Bay. If you need specialty designs and you need stuff to be taken out and a calmness to come over your property, I partner with her on those gigs. So really my passion is, here's my mission now is I started the companies, wrote the book on Anthony Cantafio. You'll go to my Facebook, you'll see it promoting kind of both of everything, you know, showing everyone that this is possible. Hey, Grant can't, Grant should have never said, hey man, I was a drug addict. I went to rehab at 20 something years old. Like, what? You're a billionaire? What? You got all this going? Okay. So all the family, no offense, all the family, friends, everyone that said, oh, you this, just leave them be, set them to the side. And I went for it. So I'm here in the flesh. We're promoting the book. Like I said, I pass out, I spend $200 a month on the author copies and I sell 20 copies a month. So, this is my first podcast. I'm looking to expand, looking for, next year, once I get about 3 commercial projects done, uh, I'm going to be ready to hire some teams. Right now I'm doing the sales, I'm doing the marketing, running the installs,
Yeah.
I'm making sure inspections go correctly. I'm in the real estate group. So a lot of my projects are for the real estate investors, making sure their projects are on point. We got to really, there's a lot going on. So,
I love it.
uh, just being this way and showing everyone that you know, everyone could change. You got to have structure. You
Hmm.
got to just, and I'm an addict. I can't have idle hands.
No.
So this is every day. This is my vacation. What do you do for vacation? Oh, I go to Grant Cardano's conference. I spend about 2, 3K. We stay for the week. We meet people. We pass cards out. We get projects procured. And we spread the word about the book because, there's always that crowd. I don't drink no more, but I'm a single person. My wife don't come with me. So I'll sit at the bar and eat, and I'll see all the people drinking, and they'll come and ask me for a drink, and I'll say, "Oh, I don't drink no more, thank you, but I'll take the water with extra lemon, extra lime," and everyone else will look at me crazy a little bit, but you know that it's helping them just a little. That's
Right.
subconscious.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
subconscious. The subconscious is powerful, and you know that it's just like maybe 10 weeks down the line, they'll be like, "Man, maybe I won't have a drink today," and pretend,
Ah, yeah, you're being that
Uh
independent for them.
But you don't wanna push it down their throat because when you pushed it down my throat, I popped another pill and then swug it down with some more. So you don't say nothing. This is kinda I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to preach at all. Everyone's got their own path. If it takes till you're 70 years old, rock and roll with it. Have fun there, but it took me at 27, and then I had fun with alcohol till 34, 5, and now I'm pushing 37, so and I don't want to preach, but I did also take fried food, all seed oils, everything out of the diet.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that,
Way to go.
I lost tons of weight. I was about 180 and I'm only 5'8", so 180 on me, you know, working a corporate job don't look too good. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in the gym doing 180. If you see my old pictures, my face is swollen. So I feel better. We got energy. We have beautiful people like Miss Tiffany asking me nice questions to get out to the world to say, hey, Anthony's here for you guys. All right. Just follow the book. I made it free on Kindle now. If you don't want to pay the $15 and support me with 50 cents, because we're taking that money. And I told the city of Tampa we're gonna help fix up properties and Atlanta. We're gonna use the money to help fix up the communities. And all the money I'm making from my wealthy friends, and hopefully when I become wealthy, we're gonna fix up the communities even more. So, that's the mission. And I want to build my own development because I didn't say this, but I just became a Tesla certified Powerwall vendor. And now, even though I don't have my electrician license, I now have a sales and vendor relationship where I can onboard others and sign them under my umbrella. So I want to basically on down the line have a mixed use development powered by clean energy with good schools, grocery stores that grow their own food like they do in Singapore,
Oh, man.
and
That's fucking
and
awesome. Yeah.
clean living. They
Yeah, yeah.
already have these developments,
Yeah.
right? Just not here. Right? So, yeah, it'd be totally off the grid, but it wouldn't even look like off the grid because with power up, this stuff Elon's got, like
I
these
know.
shingles, the glass you can make. Listen.
Wait, we gotta stay back on track because I wanna know
Oh, yeah, sorry.
why do
I
you
get
keep
excited.
showing up? Why do you that I got 3 questions left. Why do you keep showing up?
Keep showing up because it's my medicine.
Mm,
Because if I wasn't sitting here talking and saying, "Man," if I wasn't talking, like I tell my grandma, like I still smoke cigarettes. I do this because I'd go back. It's just me, and I wouldn't want to. It's the disease of choice. So, like when I say, oh, when someone's saying you talk too much, like when I'm talking too much to my family and like, well, am I smoking while I'm talking? Can't smoke and talk, can I? So like I can't drink and talk, can I? I
yeah,
can't do drugs and talk. So let me talk, let me spread the word. And it hopefully, if it just hits one person,
yeah,
we made it, man. We
yeah.
made it. If it
You
just
made it.
helps one person.
Yeah, and it's hitting a lot more people because even just you giving away your books right now to the right people at churches and the jails and
Well,
so forth, I mean, that's outrageous.
this
They
is on track. It started with a church. I got a call. Remember I said I sold my boat? The guy who was asking about a boat said, hey, I saw your book too. Do you mind if I bring it to Sunday school? And like I said, never, you shouldn't have said that. Then I said, well, do you mind if um, yeah, you can have it. Then I went to a Baptist church, did the same thing. Then I went to a Catholic church. Then I went to Jehovah's Witness. And I went to all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's It's getting cool, man. I love it. And I want everyone to know that they can do this too.
Yeah. And then
And it doesn't
after
have to be book. It doesn't have to be cabinet and book. So don't get scared.
yeah,
Pick your
no, no.
passion. Pick your
Where do you want
passion.
people to come find you at? Like your
Go
LinkedIn,
to
your website?
LinkedIn. I'm not very big on LinkedIn
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
Well, I am. I know you are, and I'm trying to get there.
No, you're
Okay.
good. You're
So,
good.
and I posted all my LinkedIn people. I love you. I gotta have a team. I got so much going on. I gotta update my social medias. I've been trying to focus on my Southern Oak Millworks and my Anthony Cantafio Facebook page, but I am on X. I do listen to a lot of stuff, and I do post some real things that are nice on X because I do support Elon's products and his mission. Obviously, we're a vendor now. God, that's where I want you to find me. And I have the website.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. www.southernoak millworks. So oak is singular, millworks is plural. .org. An email, just send the email. And if people watch this, you don't have to send it to design at. If you send it to Anthony at southernoakmillworks.net, I'll get it. So the email's .net, website is .org. And reach out. I'm willing to help. Go to Amazon, check out The Disease of Choice by Anthony Cantafio. It's $13.99. If you can't afford $13.99, I made it free digitally. So
Nice,
for
nice.
so I don't want anyone saying, "Oh, you're trying to make money." No, that book is actually to start a fund with. That book is going to start a fund once you have to make certain amounts. So once it gets above a certain amount of revenue per month, you could start a business with it. And basically, I want to do it. I want to make it for profit now. See, everyone's saying nonprofits. Oh, we want to make it for profit, teach the community members how to work for that business, have ownership in the business, and own it, and then and fix up our communities, and just boom, boom. So I'll
Brilliant.
get
You guys,
excited.
all the links and so forth that Anthony was talking about are in the show notes. So you guys don't have to worry about memorizing any of that. What do you want to leave everybody with today as our last question so that you can leave with your golden nuggets of wisdom for them?
Uh, we can't control where we were born or who raised us, and they couldn't control it either. So no matter where you came from, no matter what you've done, uh, you can change that day. The beauty about being a human is if you wanted to, some people call that psycho, but you can't. You can be a different person every day if you want it. So pick the person you want to be. And I don't care if they say you're fake or you change. Of course, I don't want to be that person. You want to, and you stick with it. And don't let anyone tell you no. And that's all I got to say.
Mm, that's awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
for being so trusting of me to let me host you as the first podcast that you get to come on and be on, so we could share the word. You're crushing it, right? With all the things you're
Oh,
working,
man. We're
opportunities
trying
God is
to.
providing. Yeah,
And second biggest thing, authenticity is key.
yeah,
Don't care if you tear up, that's all right.
yeah,
Right? Suck it up. You move on. It's normal. It's called an
yeah,
emotion.
yeah,
People need to realize that it's normal. Like
yeah.
Jesus. Like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be normal.
Mhm. You're allowed to feel right now instead of
Oh,
not. I'd rather
yeah.
you be real with us. Hey, this has been awesome. I'm so glad we got all the tech stuff worked out so that we can make this happen today. And that right
And
at
I'm
the
glad
tail
it
end of
worked
the
out.
conference. I know, I know. Um,
Thank
I-
you, Tiffany. And
yeah,
I know
thank
you got to
you.
go pick up your kid.
I
You got to
know, I
go
know.
pick
It's
up the
picnic time.
baby.
So here's what I
Yeah.
want to do, guys. Follow Anthony. Go check out his book for free, even if you can't afford to do that. Heck, just send him a Venmo and get the free version, right? You make more money
I
on
don't
them.
have Vendo, but I don't do Venmo
Zelle?
no more.
Oh no, you're fine. You're
Zelle.
fine. And
Where's
then,
Zelle? Where's Zelle all the way, baby? Zelle.
I will check you guys out
Thank you, Tiffany. God bless. God bless everyone.